So the Reddit squeeze on the paper silver market has fizzled out. But let's talk about what the impact of all the hype has had on the physical silver market when we return. Hey YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. So the paper squeeze, right? Did it happen? Was it as big as we expected it to be? And when I say we, I mean the general community, right? And the short answer, no, not yet at least. It's still early. We could still potentially see something on the paper contract side really pinch silver, okay? But what did happen based on all of the results of the initial GameStop surge, right? When GameStop surged and you saw share prices go from the $3 range all the way up as high as I saw in the high $500 range within a 2 to 3 week period. Obviously, that generates a lot of buzz. It generates a lot of froth in the market, as I've also seen in the comments section. Okay. So over the weekend, your local coin shop, the online bullion dealers, they indeed saw increased demand at a unprecedented magnitude. Okay. That resulted in a lot of the online bullion dealers, as well as the local coin shops, to take defensive measures. All right, maybe they were sitting low on inventory, maybe high on inventory, but either which way, they saw what was coming. They expected a rise in spot price. They expected increased demand on the physical bullion market, which, I mean, you can go to your broker right now. Well, maybe. I think SLV can be traded 24 hours on many brokers, but you can go there right now and you can buy paper silver, right? It's in your account. You don't like it. 10 minutes later, perhaps you can sell it. When it comes to the physical silver, okay, real silver, real money, not IOUs, not contracts, all right? It's a lot more difficult than that. First of all, the silver has to be found. And in many cases, silver isn't even actually mined for directly. A lot of the silver that is mined annually actually comes from the mining of gold or copper, right? Silver is actually picked up, on the secondary mining market. And that has a lot to do with the fact that silver has been depressed for so long. I mean, we're talking about 8-year highs right now with silver currently in the $27 to $30 range over the last week, right? That's an 8-year high. Still not a whole lot. When you think that an ounce of gold, so we've got 1 troy ounce of gold right here, currently goes for about $1,850. All right. But silver, like this 1 troy ounce silver bar here, only going for 27. So there's a pretty big difference between gold and silver. That ratio, when it comes spot price to spot price, that's the COMEX price, right? The price, the paper price, the quoted price is about 65 to 1. But what happened this weekend with your local coin shop and your online bullion dealer is we saw premiums on physical silver, especially, even though it did kind of trickle over to gold, dramatically increase. And there's a lot of reasons behind that. One, these places that you're shopping with are businesses. They want to make money just like you do. Two, there was limited inventory. Even though silver had kind of not been as hyped as some of the stocks out there that you saw on the Reddit forums, in general, since last year, silver has been a pretty hot commodity. And you can see that by looking now at silver's year-to-date chart. Looking at this, you can see that the trend is in the upper direction. And even though we did see, a little turn back over the last 24 hours, silver in general is still trading at multi-year highs, okay? So is it a reason to cry in your beer if you went out and bought a couple 100 ounces, 10 ounces, a couple 1,000 ounces of silver over the weekend and now it kind of trickled back? No. Let me remind you that 41% of the world's US dollars currently in circulation have been printed, created, etc. in the last 12 months, okay? Now, I know that a lot of people aren't out there spending a whole lot, but I think anyone with half a brain can see what's going on. When you look at asset values, right? The value of all assets. So we may not be seeing inflation so much with your day-to-day spending, but when you look at all-time records in real estate, all-time highs in gold, which was set this previous year, even though we've come back from that somewhat, all-time records in the stock market multiple times. Basically, assets are inflated. Anything that is an asset that can be valued in US dollars is up. That's where you're seeing the inflation, okay? Especially also looking in the BTC or the cryptocurrency market. I mean, look at what's going on over the last 2 to 3 years with stocks, houses, gold. and even BTC. We're starting to see a trend here, right? Everything is at all-time highs. Okay, so let's get to a brief article here on silver dealers and their scramble to find supplies for retail buyers. This will kind of answer some of the questions you might have on what happened over the weekend. All right, so this was written by Arpan Varghese. This was published on Routers, and it's about a 4-minute read. A retail investment frenzy in silver, driven by social media, has left dealers from the United States to Singapore scrambling for bars and coins to meet demand. Silver prices extended their rally on Monday to an 8-year high as small investors answered calls on social media last week. All right, that call was to buy the metal, like this 90% silver $0.50 here, to push up prices. Now, retail investors cannot directly access the wholesale silver market, so instead they have to buy, into bars and coins through online bullion dealers or at your local coin shop. There are massive shortages. We'll be completely out of stock if it carries on like this. The first time since our company opened in Singapore 7 years ago, said David Mitchell, managing director at Indigo Precious Metals. Some customers sold gold to buy silver. Yeah, I actually heard about that. I think the Stacking Stormtrooper, if you're not tuned in and subscribed to the Stacking Stormtrooper, I'm going to go ahead and throw his channel up above. You need to get over there. First of all, he does great auctions. So if you're limited on what you can buy at your local coin shop, maybe you're taxed heavily, depending on what state you live in or what country. I'm not quite sure if he ships out of the United States, so I don't want to misspeak on that. But if you're in the USA, definitely go over to Stormy's channel. He does amazing coin auctions, and maybe you can pick up something that isn't going to incur a tax bill. So, the U.S. bullion broker Apmex warned of delays in processing silver transactions because of surging volumes. I mean, people were even selling gold for silver, which in my opinion is not something that I'm interested in doing. All right, so other U.S. dealers, including JM Bullion and SD Bullion, warned customers of shipping delays of up to 5 to 10 days. Everett Millman at Gainesville Coins in Florida said they were expecting shipping delays perhaps until mid-March for some products like Silver Eagles and Silver Maples. Okay, injecting another personal opinion here because, hey, it's my YouTube channel, right? I'd like to give you my opinion. I'm not down with that. I am definitely not down with buying from a coin shop online that says they got something, right? And then it takes them until March to ship. That is what they'd say in the military, unsat, right? Not going to happen, not going to fly. In my business, it wouldn't happen at least. I'm not going to sell you something that I don't have, but it appears just like with the paper markets, people are willing to sell you things that they cannot deliver. Okay, so be careful. All right, so perhaps until mid-March, they're saying, for some products like Silver Eagles and Silver Maples. As we know, Silver Eagles and Maples are two of the most popular bullion coins in the world. While rapid spike in demand has tightened supplies, there's plenty of metal around, and delays should ease once metal can be shipped to where it is needed, dealers and industry experts said. All right, so let's pause again for a minute. So you're having a hard time getting silver. At least that's what they're saying. I'm going to talk with you about a silver lining, and that is gold. Okay? So while we've seen a lot of premiums, as much as 50% over the intrinsic value of silver, like with the Silver American Eagle on Apmex, for instance, I mean, who's going to pay over $40 for a coin that's got an intrinsic value of around $27? Not me. That's way too high of a premium. But where you can actually put your money to work if you're interested in investing in precious metals is with gold. Like this 1/4 ounce gold coin here from the United Kingdom. Right now, you can pick up one of these for about $525 US, whereas a tube of American Silver Eagles, which is a roll or 20 coins, going to cost you a whole lot more because of the premium. You're looking at a much lower premium with gold right now. So the silver lining with all this hype in silver is that you still have gold. And don't forget about platinum. There is enough airline traffic to ensure supply can move around, he said, unlike last year when the lack of freight capacity disrupted gold markets. Okay, if you were around stacking last March, that was a big issue, right? When government started shutting down transportation to try to limit the spread of the COVID-19 China virus, right? So that's not happening right now. Airlines and cargo shippers, ships are sailing, planes are flying. So we shouldn't have any fear there when it comes to moving gold and silver around the world's economy. In the short term, stocks may run out since it takes a long time for sea shipping, but overall supply is ample, said Peter Fung, head of dealing at Hong Kong-based Wing Fung Precious Metals. Around 1 billion ounces of silver are produced and consumed each year, and supply has been in surplus for most of the last decade, consultant Metals Focus said. Yeah, I'm not so sure about that. I'd like to see that backed up. There are signs yet of a broader physical squeeze across the silver market, and we could not expect any at this stage, said Frederick Panzazzuti, managing director at dealer MKS. Okay, I'm going to read that one again because I'm not quite sure I grasp that. There are no signs yet of a broader physical squeeze across silver, and we would not expect any at this stage. All right, well, tell that to my local coin shop, because I'm telling you, I have a relationship with my local coin shop, two of them in my local area. I pick up the phone, I call, we talk on a first name basis. They know who I am right when the phone rings. And my dealer was a little hesitant to sell me a roll of Silver Eagles over the weekend because he knew what was coming. And it's not super easy for the smaller mom and pop coin shops to get in multiple monster boxes of Silver Eagles to keep up with local demand. So not sure I believe that one. There was more muted buying in China and India, the leading Asian consumers of physical bullion. Chinese investors piled into the futures market and mining company stocks, but dealers said the rush was yet to actually translate into physical constraints. Indian buyers typically favor gold as an investment, in contrast to what's happening in other parts of the world. Silver is seen as more of a consumption rather than an investment commodity in India. The bullion division head of Mumbai-based silver importing bank said, India and China typically account for a quarter to a third of global demand for retail silver investment products such as bars and coins, according to Metals Focus data. Okay, so that's the article. Not quite sure what the takeaway here is. It seems to me that the article is trying to indicate that while there is a squeeze here in the United States, that may not be a global trend. I'm curious to know if you're living abroad right now watching this video. I get a lot of viewers from Australia, the UK, Germany, Canada, some from the Caribbean and Mexico, but mostly from, I would say, native English-speaking countries is where the majority of viewers come from to watch this channel. I'd like to know what's going on in your home country right now. Have you talked to a local bullion dealer? What's going on there? Please leave comments down below. So, once more, we know that silver is trading at an 8-year all-time high. So please don't be upset. Silver moves erratically. It definitely does. When silver's up, it tends to outperform gold. When silver's down, well, gold outperforms silver. Gold itself is much more stable. So if you're looking to retain your wealth and hold your wealth in precious metals, right? I would definitely consider gold for that. If you're looking to be a little bit more speculative, right? Maybe perhaps you're looking for a quicker gain in value, then silver is definitely the place to be. All right, so let's take a look at a little bit of gold and silver here. So this is a graded coin. This is a 2016 Silver Kangaroo, and I actually received this as a gift from a subscriber to this channel. Thank you again, sir. I really and greatly appreciate this gift. 2016 was the first year, of course, for this coin to be minted by the Perth Mint in Western Australia. And this one, even though it does show some signs of milk spotting now in the capsule, was graded in a perfect MS70. This is not the kind of stuff for the new folks here to the channel that you really want to be concentrating on when you're trying to build weight in silver. Once more, premiums are super high. There is absolutely nothing wrong with sitting on the sideline and holding on to your cash for just a little while longer. And I'm going to show you another reason why. Let's take a look at this chart right above now. It's going to come in, and I'm going to show you the strength of the dollar as compared to a basket of global currencies. This chart that you see right here, there's really one key takeaway that I'd like you to take away from it. When the dollar is stronger, gold and silver tend to go down. When the dollar goes down, right, as compared to a basket of global currencies, gold and silver go up. And that's because gold and silver on the COMEX market are valued in US dollars. It is what it is, okay? For anyone else in the world to purchase gold and silver, in essence, they're converting their nation's fiat currency over into US dollars in order to acquire the metal. So, looking at the chart again, what have you noticed? That's right. The dollar is in a recovery pattern. But now let's switch to a more long-term. Let's go to the annual chart for the dollar. We've already looked at silver. See what you notice here? The overall trend for the dollar is down. As I mentioned earlier, 41% of the world's US dollars have been printed, created, circulated within the global financial system over the last 12 months. That is huge. If you're concerned that you're going to lose all of your money in silver, you're not. Fear not, okay? Just like stocks, just like the real estate market, silver and gold are prone to market corrections. They're prone to being overhyped. They're prone to being oversold. There are supply and demand crunches, you name it. Basic economics applies to gold and silver just like anything else out there. These are commodities after all. So I just want to leave you guys with a little bit of a warm feeling here and say, don't worry about it, okay? The Florida Stacker way of doing things, which I've been showing now here on my channel for the last round about 18 months, is steady state accumulation. Set a budget, live within your means, become your own bank. And by becoming your own bank, you can have cash. Fiat currency, right? Cash. You can have gold and silver. You can get into the cryptocurrency market with BTC, Ethereum, any of the other cryptocurrencies out there. And you can obviously play the stock market. There's plenty of opportunities out there for you to increase your net wealth. Gold and silver, of course, are just one avenue in doing that. And I largely look at gold and silver from the savings perspective. I saw it in the comments section today, and it's the last thing I'll say before I close this video out. If you're thinking about running out and buying gold and silver, consider it savings. Yes, I know that in my last video, I talked about investing and that when you're buying gold and silver, you're investing. I still tend to believe in that. It's something that has kind of, my viewpoints on it at least, have transcended over time as I've gotten more involved in Bullion as well as this YouTube channel. But the amount of time, the amount of effort that I put into watching the market, making smart purchases, bringing smart purchases to this channel so I can show you, discussing what's right, what's wrong, how to do it, how not to do it. Okay, that's an investment. And I'm taking my fiat currency and I'm putting it in. But what I'm really investing in is my savings account. So have no fear. Hold your gold and silver. Do not sell. Do not take the immediate loss. Just wait. Good things are on the horizon because nothing has really changed in the world's global financial system. That's all I got for today's video, folks. Hope you like this article. I'll go ahead and post a link to this article in the video description section below. Once more, please use that comment section. And if you're new here, thank you for joining the channel. And if you've been here for a long time, thank you again. We'll talk to you soon. Florida Stacker out.